Today's world faces several different social issues. These social issues, unfortunately, can impact on how God's values should form in this world. One of these issues is the issue of marriage. In Genesis 2:24, God states that man will leave his parents to be married to a woman, and it will become one. God knew that as humans, husband and wife were to complete each other. That is how we become one. Genesis explains that marriage was a covenant of God. One to not be entered into lightly, and one to be taken for the rest of your life here on earth. I've been married 18 years. My wife and I both have been counselors for other married couples. We've gone through a lot of trials on our own, and God has helped us get through those. The one thing we both knew is we took the vows to the end. I myself am a child from divorced parents. I know some of the devastation that happens during the divorce process. Stephen Earle, who's a licensed Christian counselor and therapist, believes that children believe that their parents should be able to work through anything that comes at them. Children look at their parents as role models on how to take on and to solve a problem. Stephen also says, divorce shatters the belief that problems can be overcome. If children see their parents fighting, to them, they just see that their parents aren't trying to work out that problem. And then ultimately, when a divorce happens, that means the problem could not be solved. And that's a bad illustration to give our children from the get-go. I know when my parents divorced, I felt the same. I looked at my parents. My parents were, any problem I had, I brought to my parents, who better to bring problems to. They could solve anything. But they could not solve what ended their marriage. When society adopts divorce as easily as it has been, it demoralizes the sanctity of marriage. In today's society, over 50% of marriages end in divorce. The first time a couple fights, the first word they want to throw out there is, well, maybe we should get a divorce. Demoralizes the institute of marriage. Marriage is designed to be stronger than that, to withstand more than that. Stability in our society is lost when divorce becomes so common that it's just another word. Stephen L. Knock is a well-known professor, states that marriage is an important health and public safety issue. On the health issue, divorce causes a lot of mental unhealthiness. It destroys a lot of processes that God has instilled into us. As far as the public safety issue, we have more children growing up without both parents in their house, whether it be father or mother. God designed a child to have both. The mother is there for the nurture. The mother is there to support, to hold. The father is there to give guidance, discipline, and to be the role model of keeping his home godly. Stability in the home generates a more stable neighborhood. If you ever go out to different neighborhoods in the city, you'll see that a neighborhood that has more single parents the stability of that neighborhood is way lower than in a neighborhood that has both parents still in the home. You'll see more people moving in and out. Children don't know what it's like to have a stable home. In 3 years, they can move 4 times. Statistics show a trend that more crimes are committed by those that come from a divorced home. Once again, if you don't have that stability in your home, you don't have the guidance, you don't have the father's discipline, then when you go out into the regular world, then you don't have those skills that we're supposed to instill into our children. In homes that do not have a male authority figure, this leads to trouble with teenagers going out into the world not respecting any authority. Brad Wilcox, a sociology professor at the University of Virginia, he's also the director of the National Marriage Project, states that marriage still symbolizes the core values important to intimate relationships. A lot of your children that come from divorced homes, when they meet someone special, they don't have the tools that they need, the ability to be intimate with them, because they did not have that role model in their home. A lot of them think that arguing, fighting, walking away from each other is the normal, and that's what they will mirror. Marriage also conveys a sense of security for all involved. For the parents, you have the security of the other one being there for you, of you still becoming one. When a divorce happens, it rips the family in half, and nobody ever completely heals. When the children grow up in a stable home, they'll go out into the neighborhoods, and they will also produce more stability in that community. The more stability you have from individuals, the more you'll have into the businesses, the more you'll have in community all the way around. And today we have just lost all stability of our communities. So my biggest thing is I would urge, whether young ladies here today, whether it be men out there, when you enter into the covenant of marriage, when you take that oath with God, you need to make sure that you're willing to do it to the end. It is not to be easily broken. It is not to be taken lightly. The ramifications of not holding up to your end of that oath is devastating, not only to you, but your children, your spouse, yourself, your community. Thank you.